Ah, there it is. Okay, that live feature changed a little bit. So I wanted to just say hello, and a lot of times what I've been hearing from people is about, how they feel like they're not young anymore. I have to say, age is just a number. Because one of the things that I realized is that, in a way, I felt a lot of regret that I didn't tap into this inner strength and power and didn't commit when I was younger. But I had to, I had to go through my journey. And I had to learn that I had to learn and know and understand how I felt in a bigger body. And I have this, all this experience for myself. I needed to know what I didn't like to feel in order to learn and work on how to feel better. So, and that wouldn't have happened like that. That's unique to me. There's some people, and I hope to, kind of inspire or have other people realize that they don't have to go through those unhealthy habits to get to where they want to be. But a lot of times in our community, it's a huge emphasis on food. Now I say this as in the months of Rajab and Shaban, because there was actually a really funny little conversation going on in our family chat. Api can attest to that. It was talking about all the niyazes and the kundes and all the food. And we generally, everybody, and this goes across all cultures, all religions, everywhere, that we want to, we usually open up our homes just like we open up our hearts, and we want to invite people in, and we want to feed them good food. And sometimes those good foods are like, fried and this and whatever, but tasty food. We want to share that experience with them, because it's a sense of family. It's a sense of passion. It's a sense of, sharing the love of something. And then, everybody walks in and sees this ginormous spread of food, and it's like your jaw drops and you start drooling and your eyes are like big and saying like, oh my gosh. And so, there's this saying that your eyes are bigger than your stomach, and there's a reason for that, because you're literally just like, you see a spread going from here to like wherever, and everything seems to be endless in terms of, the pots or the containers never get empty, because before they're even given a chance to get empty, they're refilled. And everybody thinks like, oh my gosh, I will never get food like this again, and I have to eat everything. It's kind of funny. And that crosses all communities. And I'm guilty of, having like a big spread, like not doing things on a small scale. But I don't usually have things that are fried and stuff like that, but I still will have very tasty foods, because that's something that I'm very passionate about. I love food. And in our, the mindset is that, oh my gosh, somebody's gonna feel bad if I don't eat everything. Okay. The only person that's going to feel bad if you stuff yourself is gonna be you afterwards. I definitely go, I taste things, but I don't want to walk away just feeling guilty about inhaling everything. That is something that I realized I had to listen to my body and learn. But that's also something that I had to over years, because I would definitely be the person who would go and eat everything and go for seconds, and really I had an issue with portions. I had a big issue with portions because it was never emphasized as something that was important to know about. And while we were growing up, that wasn't a big emphasis because there wasn't such an epidemic of obesity. So I am one of the children and the adolescents that grew up in the era of SuperSize everything, and we're still in that SuperSize era. So I had to, my journey, and everybody's journey is very different, but my journey had me going through being a chubby to an overweight adolescent to an obese adult. Like, no qualms, man. I may not have looked obese, but I was obese. The BMI doesn't lie, the scale doesn't lie, my measurements don't lie, and how I felt doesn't lie. That was my journey. Not everybody has to go through obesity in order to kind of bring themselves back. But I tell you that I didn't start to kind of learn these healthier habits until I was an adult. And a lot of people, and you know, I was technically an auntie in the community, which still kind of freaks me out a little bit. But as an auntie in the community, to suddenly be going and saying, I'm learning new habits. You're never too old to start working on yourself and creating better habits for you. Never. So when I want to say about 35-ish is when I started to actually take fitness into consideration. And I was working out with a personal trainer, and I was learning that my body was capable of a lot, that I didn't give it enough credit, and I didn't honor my body enough. So that I learned at 35. Okay. I had learned better habits in terms of eating, but I wasn't great because a lot of it was processed. So I learned one of the lessons. Life happened, and life is going to happen all the time. Life happened, and mom got sick. I make no excuses about it. I have no regrets because I focused on my priorities, and then I needed to get back to me. So I had already gained back about 35 of the 70 pounds that I had lost in my late 30s. I had gained that back. So at 39, I was looking at myself and saying, holy crap, I'm about to turn 40. I already know my metabolism's slowing down. Why? Because I see that my skin is dulling. It was never fantabulous, but it wasn't bad. But I started getting acne. My nails were starting to get brittle and start to break out. My hair was starting to fall out. So I knew these hormonal changes were happening, and the issues that I had in terms of gut and digestion, bloating, and that overall sense of fatigue were just magnified, and they were just kind of growing exponentially. And I just thought, holy cow, this is life. This is that kind of like that hormone decline and what's going to happen. And I was like, crap, I can't do this, and I really have to just kind of get myself to a healthier state. Now, I didn't say skinny or this or whatever. I said, I have to get myself healthier, because if I don't do it now, it's going to be that much harder when I'm turning 50 or 60. And I hope to live to 60, because if this continues to happen at this rate, I don't know what's going to happen. And that was a huge eye-opener for me, because I said, my kids aren't even, like, my daughter was what? My daughter was like 11 at that time, and I was thinking about myself not being around when she was like 30. I didn't even know what my state would be when she would be in her 20s, and that scared the bejesus out of me. It did. And I said, if not now, then when? And with that mindset, if not now, then when? So if not now at 39, then when? Like, I had like a mental smackdown with myself, and I said, shut up, Shaheen, and like, pull up your big girl panties and just get to it, because it's not going to get easier. It is hard work, but it's really hard work and emotionally draining to feel fatigued and emotionally drained all the time, to feel that lack of self-confidence, and to not want to see yourself in the mirror, to sit there and like kind of like shirk away from your husband. It's emotionally draining. So if not now, then when? So I didn't care that I was about to turn 40. I didn't. I said, screw it. It's about me. It's nobody else. It's my business, and nobody's going to tell me that I can't do it. I did it once before. I can damn well do it again. And I have to tell you, that was such a flip of the switch, that it was that mental smackdown I needed to give myself. So if not now, then when? okay? I didn't care that I was 40 or I was going to turn 40. My goal was actually to turn 40, to welcome 40 back at, you know, where I, apologies, there was a call that came in. My goal was to welcome 40 where I was at my strongest. And that was like 10 months down the line. So I set that goal. It was, you know, 10 months for 35 pounds and inches, but just that sense of self-confidence that I had had. What happened? I committed to that goal and I said, screw the age, screw the number. It's about me and I need to work on me. And an amazing thing happened. A really, truly amazing thing happened. I thought I had, in my head, I'd come up with all these excuses, like I can't go this, I can't do the trainer thing, I can't do this, you know, the time to the gym doesn't happen. But I found something that worked, and I was able to do it at home. So all the excuses went out the door, because I said, fine, even if it takes me 10 months, I've got only, you know, like this much, and I know I can do it because I've done it before. And I've got to do it for me, for my kids, and yeah, if not now, then when? Exactly. Guess what happened? I plugged into a support network. So I found a tribe, and now I'm building a bigger tribe. Pretty cool, right? Because if not now, then when? And if you're not going to help yourself, who will? Okay? And if you're going to help yourself, you're going to feel great. It's going to be infectious. People are going to notice, and they're going to be wanting to get in on it, because that energy, that positivity is infectious. It is. It's contagious. You can feel it. It's like electricity. You're next to somebody. It's an energy. It flows out of you. It really, really does. So I hit my goal within 6 to 7 months. Screw that 10-month timeline. I blew it out of the water. And I will tell you that I was not a superstar. I was definitely not a superstar. When it started, it was just a series of small steps taken daily and built upon. That's it. Honestly, and I did it from home. And it was like, just literally, it worked out to be a few dollars a day. A few dollars a day. Come on. Like, really? Hi, Nikki. Like, it was like, all right, I didn't have to spend, you know, like $150 or between $150 and $200 per week, or for personal training sessions. Yeah, I did that before. I didn't have to do it. Guess what I got in return? So I welcomed 40. By the summer before turning 40, we went and we hiked. We went to the Grand Canyon. We went to Bryce Canyon. We went to Yosemite, and we hiked. And guess what? Guess who was leading the way on the trails? It was me. And my kids were like, okay, Mama, how do you have so much energy? And I was like, let's just do it. Come on, let's do it. And I was bringing them along with me, and they got to see the majesty of all these beautiful places, and they got to, you know, yeah, it was hard, but guess what? The view at the top and the view at the bottom and then back up at the top was just phenomenal. There was this one trail at Yosemite that was like, it was listed as moderately intense. Let me tell you, it was pretty intense, and it was longer than we anticipated. We actually made it like about a quarter of a mile or a mile up, and it was like steeper than we had anticipated. We initially didn't even go. We left all of our snacks and water in the car, and I, after a mile, went back down to the car to get the 2 backpacks that had all the things in the water, and I put one backpack on my back, one backpack on my front, and I went back up that mile to meet my family so that we could have snacks and stuff on the way up. And then we went an additional 3+ miles up, and it was fun. It was like, you know, there were steep periods, then there was like, you know, moderately like flat areas. There were these amazing rock formations. There were like, you know, we had to climb some rocks here and there. And then when we were just like, oh, when is it going to happen? literally the scenery opened up and we were at the top of the mountains, between the mountains, and there was this beautiful lake, and we're like, this was worth it. That's my journey in a nutshell. This was worth it. So at 40, I welcomed in, you know, with a sense of confidence I had never ever felt. Kicked the bloat to the curb because I ate right, and I you know, like, fed my body what it needed, and I cut out processed crap. My digestion was like never before, like really good, and that's crazy. My hair stopped falling out. It was getting stronger. My nails, they don't break anymore. My skin, this is no makeup. Essentially, when you see me, and in like 85 to 90% of the pictures, I have no makeup on. And now I'm 42, turning 43. There's no limit to age. If not now, then when? When are you going to do it? Because in that time that you're sitting there thinking about, yeah, I'm too old, I'm this, time's still passing by, and you're still not feeling great about yourself. Time doesn't stand still, but you have the choice to pick up, and like I said, pull up your big girl panties and just do it, because you're going to gain that time. And in that period where you're continuing to work on yourself, that is infectious. It spreads, and that you don't have to get to your goal to feel amazing. You don't. And wherever you are, I'm much stronger now than even when I was at my at what I thought was my goal, you know, when I was in my mid-30s after working with a trainer. Like, because overall, I still feel my digestion is like 100 times better. 100 times better. And the entire time that I was working with my trainer, I was still eating processed foods. There were these protein supplements that were recommended to me, which honestly at that point, yes, they're protein, but I'm not protein deficient. I can eat protein. I have no problem eating chicken, fish, Greek yogurt. I have no issues with protein whatsoever. I was eating processed crap, and I needed to cut that out, and I wasn't getting the nutrition because it's not present in the foods that we have access to. That degree of nutrition is not available because it's just, you know, commercially not available. We've overfarmed our soil. We've genetically modified so many vegetables that the nutrition content isn't there. That's something for another talk, and we will get into that. But if not now, then when? There's no number. Don't let an age number, just like how many years you've already spent on this earth, be a limitation, because look forward to all those years of quality that you want ahead. So at 42, now, and I was never an athlete. I wasn't, because I just didn't have that stamina, nor the power, nor that confidence, nor that mindset. I didn't. It takes a certain mindset. So now I work out a minimum of 5 days a week. No joke, if I don't get 5 days a week in, you know, if my schedule calls for a program and it has 6 days a week, I'm getting 6 days a week in. If I miss a day, I feel like crap because I didn't commit to something, that I didn't follow through on a commitment I made to myself, and I make it up at some point. So this is the difference. This confidence, this kind of like this is the difference. So minimum of 5 days a week, I work out. That's just gotta be there. And that's from somebody who spent, like, you know, just like years just not having it. And now I also play soccer on, you know, at least once a week now, in our soccer training sessions with a professional coach. So I'm building my soccer skills, and let me tell you, you need a lot of stamina to play soccer. I'm playing with people who are, the majority of people in our group are younger than me. Some of them are teenagers. The majority of them are in their 20s, and a few of them are in their 30s. I am the oldest person playing soccer. And I can keep up with every one of them. I may not be Neymar. I'm not. But I can keep up with the best of them. And I can I can give them a run for their money. Okay, I'm not tooting my own horn, but that came with practice. And now volleyball season's kicking up. So today is a day of 3 workouts for me. My regular workout, because I'm not skipping that. That's a commitment I made to myself. And that's what is that's it. Yes, football. So then comes an hour of football. We're going to do the global thing, right? I play an hour of soccer, followed by an hour and a half of volleyball. Tonight, at age 42, the girl who didn't want to get up off the couch just 3 years ago. Nothing is impossible. Age is not a limit. You want to join me? Join me. Show up, and I promise you, you'll get the motivation every single day without fail, because you will see myself running alongside you at every step of the way. You will see a team running alongside you at every step of the way. You will see people just wanting to be better versions of themselves every single day. Age should not be something that stops you, because if not now, then when? God bless. Happy Friday. I will post this. So tell me what's stopping you. This is your homework. Message me and tell me, what are you going to work on for yourself and why? Because that's important. You can plug in, but you have to know why and what do you want out of it. Because if you want support, you've got it. That's there. What are you working on, and what do you feel crappy about? Because I felt crappy, and I was sick and tired of crappy. I really like feeling like a badass. And there's no shame in that. God bless. Happy Friday.